All right,
Yep.
great. All righty. So, thanks, Sarah, and
No.
we'll see you.
Perfect. And you
We'll
are
see
all
you.
set, so I'm gonna hop off.
Okay, thanks, Sarah. Enjoy your day.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay. Oh, hi, Mark Fleischer. We haven't seen you in a little bit, so I'm glad to see you. You're on mute. That catchphrases. We're gonna do catchphrases for Zoom, but you're a comedian. I couldn't tell you, but
And I just said something so brilliant that I can't even remember. I can't repeat it. It's like
You
a
can't
one,
repeat it.
it's
That's
like a
hysterical.
one-time flash of genius that went through my head, and now it's off.
it's gone. It's in the ethers.
It's
Yeah,
got in the ether. Yeah. Hi,
maybe.
everybody.
Hi.
Hi, it's
Morning.
good to see you.
Nice to see
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, so this is just an informal discussion, just kind of generated from the Long Island pod that I attended last month when they were kind of brainstorming some possible topics. And I thought, just maybe just get a roundtable together or whatever this configuration is. I don't know, geometrically. Of just like, Zoom tips, different challenges that we've had. I think we've all had our Zoom snafus and how we've handled it during a meeting and how we've incorporated into our practices and what are we all kind of as our takeaways? Because now we're meeting, I know many of us are meeting, kind of a hybrid, meeting in person, meeting by Zoom, and just to hear from everyone like what that's been like and any takeaways and just some useful Zoom tools that we may or may not be aware of and what your best ones are, or just as a share.
If you'll excuse me, I'm going to be here, but I have to feed my dog.
Okay, that's
I'm in the
important.
kitchen, but I'm
Okay,
hearing everything,
perfect.
and I'll
Okay,
be, yeah,
great.
okay, thanks.
Yeah. So, hi, good morning, Carmen.
Morning,
Right.
everybody.
Yeah.
I have a new puppy. I'm not sick
Oh,
very much.
Oh, my gosh.
oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I mean, he's adorable. He's great. He's wonderful.
And you haven't slept.
I haven't slept, and he's nipping at everything. I have scars everywhere.
Oh, no.
I've actually been bleeding.
Oh,
'cause
wow. Well, maybe
so
you put
sharp.
on you have a
What
good
kind of
Zoom filter.
what kind of
Because
dog, Carmen? What kind of dog, Carmen?
So he's he's a mini golden doodle.
Oh,
But within golden doodles, there are 75-25, so they're more hypoallergenic. And then there's 50-50. And the 50-50 are called F1. I don't know why they're called F1, but they're called F1 mini golden doodles. So that's what Scout is. He was named Scout after To Kill a Mockingbird.
great.
And the reason we wanted an F1 is because we've always had Goldens. And so I really like the long hair and the temperament of a Golden. So, but Goldens have the highest propensity of dying from cancer of any breed.
Yep.
So I couldn't do a third Golden. Our first one only lived till 10, our second one only lived till 7.5.
Oh,
So
wow.
I figured by mixing breeds, I mean, basically he's just an expensive mutt, to be honest, but he's a very cute mutt, that just nips a lot and hasn't slept through the night yet.
How old is he
Okay.
now? How old?
He is 8 weeks and 4 days.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh, you
God.
just got him. I mean,
You
8
got a
weeks.
ways to go before he sleeps through the night.
Yeah.
I got a puppy. He's a year old, and for the first 6 months, we were exhausted.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
Ellen,
it passes.
thank you for that news. I really appreciate that.
It's like having a baby.
It is
It
like
is,
having a baby.
right.
I'm
Right.
so tired. I'm so
Except babies don't
cranky.
chew on all your shoes.
And your hands and your clothes and and your ankles.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm sorry for whining and complaining, but thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Well, I can relate. I've been through it. Mine is now almost 14. He's a F1B Golden Doodle, which
Oh,
is
what's the B mean?
the B means it's a combination of a Golden Doodle and a Poodle. So that means 3/4 poodle, 1/4 golden retriever. And that's the least likely to shed. And that's what my wife was most concerned with. So that's what we did.
Ellen, what kind of dog do you have?
He's a mini Australian Shepherd.
Oh, how
Oh.
cute.
It's cute. It's
Yeah.
cute. We had to put down,
Australian
I had a Maltipoo. He was 18 and he probably would have lived till 20 something, but he was blind and deaf and it was falling downstairs and devastating, but I had to put him down. So, and when, it's hard to live without a dog when you're a dog person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's cute. He really is cute. I just thought I was going to be late to this because I actually just found 2 ticks on him that we had to take off.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
speaking about integrating this in our conversation, I have to say, for one, it's really comforting for me to see when dogs are in the Zoom screen, whether it's a colleague or the clients. I
Okay.
think it's just very centering and very calming, and I really appreciate pets that come into a Zoom room, especially like cats that walk around the screen.
Yeah.
I just find it so it kind of also helps
here,
with the
Brunson.
like, it just kind of, you take a pause and then whatever it just kind of redirects and recenters, and I really think
Here's
that
Brunson.
yeah, oh my
Oh
goodness,
my
there you go,
God.
there you go, oh my goodness,
And
Oh,
we named him Brunson after the New York Knicks Brunson.
oh
That's
wow.
I love that.
I hope he'll be watching tonight.
Oh, he'll be watching today. He gets
go
confused
get
because we're
Scout.
screaming Brunson and he doesn't know what we're saying.
Oh God.
There's a dog on my block named Dr. Seuss.
That's good. That's cute.
That is
cute.
cute. So,
Okay,
just
okay.
opening it up, this is just really an informal conversation. Just wanted to hear from everyone here, their experiences with Zoom, any kind of great Zoom tips that they have or apps that they use, and how they've integrated it. Also, just in our practice with our, with the recording, with the participation agreement. Oh, look at this. This is going, I don't have one to show, but
Wow, he's big for 8
yeah,
weeks.
he's sweet.
He's
Oh my God.
8 pounds,
Oh,
8 pounds, 9 ounces.
Wow,
I can't
Oh my
stand it.
God. Wow. Wow.
Package, you can't you can't get mad at him for any reason. No.
No.
Right. I can just taste the puppy breath.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
He's
So
so
sweet.
soft. He's
Oh
so
my God.
Oh,
Wow. So sweet.
So one of my
adorable.
favorite Al Pacino films is Dog Day Afternoon. This is Dog Day Morning.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Every day is dog
All right.
day.
That's what it is. Yeah. So, just to get an informal polling, what of this group, who prefers Zoom meetings versus in-person meetings?
Oh, in person.
In person, I'll go in
In
person.
person?
In person.
I think it depends. I think it depends. The more intense meetings, I think, need to be in person. The
Exactly.
less ones on Zoom, I think.
I agree, Alan.
So when you do a Zoom meeting, is there a particular challenge that, comes off like a theme in which you're just kind of, I wish I was in person?
Well,
You
what's
know, when you're in a
challenging
Zoom
for
meeting.
me is I tend to read people's movements and people's postures, and you only see people generally from the neck up. So you're not, I don't have that read, so it just requires a lot more, just a lot more of me, right?
Right.
To try to figure out what's going on.
Yeah,
Right.
it's hard to feel the temperature of the room in the same way. There's something that
right.
you feel in person. And I feel like people are more masked, for lack of a better word, on the screen. Tend to be like Barbara said, you're frozen in place for the most part. I think in some ways people, I don't know, that they're more closed, they're something. They're not there in the same place. And I think it's also easy for them to, hold back or be different, tune out. There are all those kinds of things, I feel. And I feel it's easier to be less kind, less, it's sort of
That's right.
Yeah.
I was going to say that
I-
along Alan's line about
Yeah.
when it's a difficult case, people are more apt to say things that they would never say when they're looking at you across the table.
Yeah, when I teach collaborative law, I do 4 steps, right? 4 levels. One is procedure, which we don't have with a little c. One is procedure, one is substance, one is dynamics, and one is what's going on with me. And I find on virtual, on Zoom, the dynamics are so different than in person. You know, in person, I can have eye contact, we can have physical, and it's so different on Zoom, the dynamics.
Welcome, Lily. Nice to see you. Yeah, just on that, it's just really interesting. I had a collaborative meeting last week, and one of the participants, we had met first in person and that, you know, and then we had the meeting up by Zoom. And it was not my client, the wife was especially kind of like flat during the whole Zoom. And it was after we had our debrief, we were like saying, you know, she seemed a little bit different, you know, what was going on. And it turned out that it was her attorney, my counterpart, actually asked and said, what was going on with you? You just seemed like you were really just flat. You were, you know, you just were much more reserved and much more like conciliatory. And it elicited a really difficult and good conversation where she said, you know, listen, I didn't like meeting in this way. I would have preferred to meet in person. And then she emoted and became like incredibly emotional and really opened up as to what was really going on. And it allowed for like a really deeper conversation. And she showed up differently at the next meeting, and which I thought was really interesting. Just that she just the setting or the format of the meeting, she felt that she needed to be more on guard and not as, you know, she wasn't as connected. And it changed for the next meeting. She was definitely more open and more vulnerable.
And
And
the
maybe
next
that's
meeting-
the setting
the
that
next
she
meeting
in.
was on Zoom?
Yeah.
It was on Zoom for the next meeting. It was, and she presented differently. Now, it was different because she was also in her office, and that's another thing too, where people meet. Like I've met in closets, in cars, it's very, you know, in offices
I
where
hope
they
it's a walk-in closet.
no. Well, it was a closet where like, yeah, it was a walk-in closet, but you know, she was trying to get some privacy from her children who knew like she had a babysitter, but it was the only place that she thought that they wouldn't find her. And then they did during the meeting, and we had to like, but it's just so interesting to me how, you know, just the environment too. And in this person, she changed her environment. That was the different thing. She took the meeting initially in her office, and I think that she felt a little bit more guarded. And then that second meeting, she was in a different location, and she was able to be a little bit more expressive and a little bit more, you know, just connected in that way. Yeah. Myra?
I think also, as attorneys and professionals, we're used to this. I mean, certainly since COVID, the amount of time we spend, but that may not be, you know, even for other professionals, that may not be part of their lives. So it's natural or normal to us, you know, we have to take into account maybe awkward and very different to other people that, you know, we don't necessarily think about.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know, or for those who are not as familiar with technology, it's, you know, and it's just, they don't, like you'll have like it's just the technology gets in the way, and you don't want that to be, you know, an obstacle. So I'm doing more in person, regrettably, that I've gotten used to Zoom, like, because I don't like getting dressed that much, you know, or like, you know, getting all to do, and it's just easier for me, you know, I like the ease of it, but I do think that people are requesting it more, and
Yeah.
and I'm getting almost, I want to say that I think I'm getting better outcomes almost, because of that just that connection. I mean, integrating a little bit of the Zoom, but for really like that first meeting, like when you have like a first collaborative meeting, like meeting in person really is a nice way to begin. And then even ending is a nice way, and then you mix it in. So,
Mm.
yeah. And what's also a little bit frustrating is when you're in a meeting, and I've had this, and I don't know how to deal with this, where you have the chat and you have your client chatting just to you in the meeting. And that's not in the participation agreement or not in my code of conduct. And I'm like, that happened to me like last week. And I was like, oh my God, like I want to, like, how do, or they're texting during the meeting, or you're in a meeting where you need to have a breakout and you're not the host of the meeting, and there's not a way to do that, and then you have to, that's just really challenging.
I know there's a way, I don't know how to do it on Zoom, but I know there's a way to prevent individual chats. You have to chat to the entire group.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
there is.
interesting.
I don't know how to do
know-
that, but I've been on meetings where that was set up.
Yeah. But Melissa, don't you find, I find it incredibly frustrating where even in person, I'll see the attorney and the client
Yeah.
like writing notes to each other.
Yes.
So it's kind of the same thing,
It
like,
is, it is.
and it drives me bananas in both settings,
Oh,
but
it does. I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree
Before
with
your
you.
sessions, in collaborative, do you and the other attorney discuss that and make a decision whether that's, the collaboratives I've been in, nobody has done secret, writings. The attorney and the client got up and left the room for a few minutes to talk, but there was no, no sidebars within the meeting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I mean, I
think,
think it would
it's
be a
kind of a
topic.
distinction without a difference, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
still kind of, it interrupts the whole flow.
It does. It does. I mean, I think it's a topic for a debrief, like after, to raise it. Alan, did you want to share?
Yeah, I think the interruption of the flow is interesting now that Zoom has evolved to allow us to have these notes that are taken for us, so that we're not busy trying to take notes and processing what's happening
Gotcha.
during the meeting. I think you feel much more open and free to have this roundtable exchange of ideas, whatever point you're at in the collaborative. I think that note taking afterwards really brings it home and allows everyone to look at what did we achieve here? What was our goal? Did we reach it? And what are our goals in next meetings? So I think for me, that's been really helpful.
Yeah, I agree. I think for me, especially because I'm a horrible note taker anyway, but it's very freeing to just be able to focus. But you have to get their permission too, that this is
Right.
what's going on. And I get that always on each time, and I reconfirm it. It's not like, oh, I just started it. I just get their permission to do it. And then
On
those
screen.
on screen. Oh no,
On
yes,
screen,
of course.
absolutely, on
Yeah.
screen while recording.
That's right.
I have not done that, Alan, and so I'm really glad to hear that, like, you guys are doing that, because it's such a taboo. It's like, it's such a red line to have any sort of recording,
Right.
right? So it's a big deal.
Right. It's actually in like the code of conduct. When there was a new code of conduct, I can put it in the chat. Maybe you have, after when we started adapting Zoom, that we had for an addendum, which had for online meetings. And one of the bigger things, I was like, no recordings, So
Right.
yeah, so you're kind of in violation of that. But I do think it's very transformative. The notes are always so interesting to me because the AI with emotion just picks it up and takes notes in such a, quite frankly, I think it's very offensive sometimes with what they're picking up, but it's always good to edit. What I made the mistake is when I had it so that everyone got a copy of the recording initially and all of the notes, and I was able to kind of change that only I get it or the professionals get it, because I think you really need to edit it. Sometimes things don't come out in the way that, just with spellings of name, it could be offensive, or the way they captured certain things.
So
Ellen?
Melissa, that's an interesting, oh, Ellen, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah.
You're on mute, Ellen.
I'm wondering, I don't do the recording, but I'm wondering if you think people are, forget it's being recorded, do they act differently? What's your sense of that?
Well, I think so. I think people appreciate, at least, they appreciate the efficiency of being able to take notes so that, my time is also less, and I say that, I don't have to take as much time to do it. But I also say that I don't keep the recordings either. I'm using it for the notes, and then I'm kind of trashing it. I'm just using it, and it's just a one time for the note taking. And I get their permission that that's comfortable. And most often it is, I haven't had an objection to it.
Mhm.
But Carmen, you were going to say something?
Yeah, so the tricky part, Melissa, and I'd love to hear how you handle this, is who gets to edit the notes?
Oh, I give it to everyone. I first look at it just for spelling and like major inaccuracies that are like, sometimes you get numbers wrong or spelling of names. And then I distribute it for editing for everyone. That's how I do it.
Isn't that the same with handwritten minutes? Somebody
Yeah,
types
the
them up
same
and then you
thing. Yeah.
distribute it.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, but it just seems, God, Ellen, why am I having a hard time reconciling that with like handwritten minutes that I distribute to everybody
Mm.
versus AI minutes that then I go through first. I do like, superficial cosmetic edit, which, Melissa has tremendous integrity. All of us on screen do, but let's be honest, like not everybody does. And so I kind of wonder, but I see your point, Ellen, that if it gets distributed to everybody and something's missing, then the burden is on the other attorney or party to like correct it. But how
Well-
many times does that actually happen?
Oh, I get corrections all the time from my
I
minutes.
don't.
I'd like to go back. When I do minutes, I like to first send them just to my counterpart. And I like us to to
Mm.
resolve it and
Yeah.
then send it to the clients.
Yeah, well, if I'm in a mediation, I'll send it to everyone. I mean, this, I'm the only person.
No, I'm
Right.
talking about
And in a
collaborative.
collaboration, I'll first send it to just the professionals, because
Yeah.
that's what I do with
Yeah.
the minutes, and then distribute it to the clients. That's just been the practice, but I still give it to them to edit, for the clients to edit it.
And
Right, but that would be the same.
Right.
If it's AI.
Right.
Melissa, do you tell them you're going to delete the recording afterwards?
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm sure we've all encountered clients who are very sensitive about confidentiality, and I'm
Oh, yeah.
surprised that there hasn't been a little more pushback about recording.
Yeah, yeah. I even had a client, a mediation that ended up, going into, I think they settled it, but they ended mediation, went into more of a litigation space, and he actually requested one of the recordings.
Ooh,
And I said I didn't have it, and he was okay with it. It was, he had the notes from it, but there was a request for it.
But doesn't it say in your retainer that they can't use any of the?
Yes, it says that. That's what I also refer to. I
Oh,
said,
good, yeah.
refer to the mediation clause about, all of that. Yes, for sure.
Mm.
So, yeah. So anything else that anyone wants to kind
well,
of?
well, I have a very, and I don't know if people want to get into this, because we've been talking really about Zoom and the, sort of the psychological impact of it, and very philosophical discussion about this way of encounter being with our parties and clients, but I don't really know how to create separate rooms. I don't know if
You don't know
everybody
how to
does.
create that?
I haven't done it yet. I
Oh, you
haven't
know
had-
what, you want me to show you? You want me to kind of demonstrate
Does
that?
anyone else, because maybe you could just show me right after we're finished, if nobody else is interested in doing it.
Yes. Yeah, I definitely can show. It's,
I'm
what
sure
was,
it's easy once you do it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, if you're not the host, it's kind of difficult. You have to be like the co-host on it. And I learned
Right.
that. And then also you have to have a Zoom version that allows for breakout. I was desperately needing a breakout room, and I was like in a meeting, like I definitely needed it, and I called it a timeout, which was like the wrong term. It made it look like my client was, but I was just trying to look for it on the screen. I'm like, is it called something different on your thing? And I wasn't able to do it, but it's on the bottom where you see, do you see breakout rooms?
Oh, yeah, I think I'm sure I've seen it.
Yeah, and then you
Mhm.
just are able to assign, who in different rooms, and then the host is then, you can, I don't know if you can time it, but you just kind of give then the host then brings the people back in.
Right. I'll figure it out. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a
you don't
really
have,
effective,
I'll figure it out.
yeah, I think it's really effective. I really appreciate.
Yeah, I really
breakout.
want to be, yeah,
So, Mark, just one thing to keep in mind,
Yeah.
if you don't see it, so Melissa's absolutely right, like you do have to be the host
Mm-hmm,
or the co-host. Sometimes it depends on the version of Zoom that you have. It might appear under more, just like the word
Yes,
more.
Yes,
It
yes.
might
Yeah.
appear there. I
Mhm.
have also had it appear for whatever reason under React. That was like 2 or 3
Oh,
versions ago when
oh,
I was just like,
interesting.
where is it? And there I
Right.
found it. But that's one of the many issues with Zoom is that there's these constant updates.
Yeah,
Right.
And
yeah.
so it's kind of
Yeah.
hard to find things.
yeah, I just looked under more and under React, and it's not an
Because
either.
you're not a co-host or a host. So you don't have it.
It won't
Right,
even
so
be
what I
on my
can do,
hosting.
wait a minute, let me see if I can make you a co-host.
I don't know if everybody wants to spend time on
No,
this.
but I mean,
No,
this
I
we
is a
feel like
learning
it's,
thing, but I'm gonna make you a co-host so you can probably see it now. Yeah, this is just practical. We'll use this time whatever we need to. I mean, but that is, I think it's an effective.
breakout rooms, now it's here.
Yeah,
There you
so,
go.
yeah.
And
So
then
then-
always remember you want to do it manually,
Yes,
not
Mhm.
automatic.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
then what I do, because I'm terrible with names, is I don't name the rooms like plaintiff, defendant, or husband, wife. I like literally put their names. So
Yeah.
that way,
Yes.
like I know which, like
Right.
Mark and Melissa in this room. So that way, like I
yeah,
don't have
that's,
to.
As
Right.
opposed to spouse one and spouse two.
yeah,
Right.
right.
No, that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
But we
Yeah.
have an IT person on this call. It'd be a good article for the NYACP newsletter.
What is that?
Melissa's
Ad-
Fathom.
advanced Zoom techniques.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think I have to do a write-up for the newsletter, so this is where it's gonna be. This is our technique. I
Melissa,
mean-
I'm sorry. There's a thing at the top that says Melissa's Fathom note taker entered the waiting room.
Yeah, my note taker, that's another point too. I kept, since I'm not recording this, I kept my Fathom, hey, good morning, Michelle, and in the waiting room. I could have ended it, but he's just in the waiting room, so we're not recording this too. That's what I also do with the recording. When I have the note taker in, I don't have it in the debrief or the pre-brief. When I do when I do it, it's not, I keep it in the waiting room and only keep it in when we're having the meeting. And that's just another tool to use, so that you don't, or you can just end it. I could just end it now. I suppose I can do that too and turn it off, because the Fathom goes with you to every meeting pretty much, unless you shut it off or put it in the waiting room and you can stop it. And
Does
there's also
everybody know
another
what
tool.
Melissa's talking about? Because this is new
So Fathom is one of
terminology
the,
to me.
yeah, so Fathom is the note taker for Zoom that it's an app, although
AI. Yeah.
or they also have an AI companion. They also have another feature that you can also turn on. That's another way of doing the transcriptions. But the Fathom, what it does is it records it, and it also takes a summary of the meeting. And there's different options in terms of, you can have it go to all participants, only go to the host, only go to select professionals that are on the meeting. But that is something that you can explore within the Fathom app, which is a feature with Zoom. And it's like you can get like a basic membership that I think is like at no cost, and then a more advanced, which allows you to do like more increase, there's different ways of doing the summaries. Like you can do like, what I like is increased detail. So it's very a detailed summary, or, you know, highlighting certain aspects, or it generates
So you can
different
set it
reports.
for different.
Yeah, they have different settings, which.
And
you
you
know,
find they're good summaries, you know.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I also use also an app that actually, Alan, that was one of our clients that in our collaboration, she turned me on to. It was this app called Cloud, which it's like a device that you bring to in-person meetings that also records and takes notes,
Mhm,
and which has been really helpful to me
mhm.
as well. But again, you
So-
get permission.
I just saw and popped up on my screen, this meeting is being transcribed.
This
Oh, yeah.
meeting is being transcribed. Oh, my lordy. So, okay, thank you.
It went
So
from
that's my
recorded-
AI companion, which I did not turn off. But it's not being recorded, and if
Yeah,
you
no, I was
want,
just
I
curious.
will
I
stop
hadn't-
this.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that before.
Okay, thank you. See, you can always stop. Stop. I am so sorry. I will record. I
No,
will-
it's just,
Yeah, but I
No.
didn't, that was something, see, you just
Yeah.
did, I forgot I had that on. So that's another tool. I don't believe though it records, it transcribes it, but it doesn't record it.
But I have the recording like on my upper right-hand corner, I have a little red dot and it says recording.
Um,
Kind of
Oh,
above from.
yeah, me
where the-
too.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah.
Peter.
no, because mine is not recording.
I
It's
do
not.
not have that.
Let me just stop this.
have it.